What's up? Welcome in, Hoge and Jahns, with you with the most exciting 3-6 team we've ever covered.
That is
What's going
true.
on, Johnsy?
Usually 3-6 means bad quarterback play, but that is not the case this year, Adam Hoge.
I wouldn't even say like yesterday felt like a victory Monday. It felt like one of the most exciting victory Mondays in like the last decade.
Come on, they still lost. Optimistic Monday. Optimistic about the future Monday.
I just called it Justin Fields Monday.
Justin Fields Monday.
Yeah.
Is that what happens when you run for records?
Run for records. Although some
he
people out there. So believe it or not, there is at least one analyst out there or player whose conclusion of that game was that Justin Fields can't throw.
Who? Did I miss this?
I was just made aware of this about 10 minutes ago from our producer, Ken, and we have the audio. So we're going to play some of this coming up here.
Okay.
Yeah, little teaser for you. But welcome in. This is Hoge Jahns. It is an exciting week, even though the Bears are 3-6. You can follow us on Twitter at Adam Hoge, at Adam Jahns. You can read Johnsy on The Athletic, theathletic.com/Hoge Jahns. You can read me, allchgo.com. Go become a member. Sign up for the newsletter, which will be in your inbox tomorrow. It comes out on Wednesday mornings, the Bears Things newsletter. Merch is up at obviousshirts.com. Check that out. Anything you buy from the Hoge Jahns collection from Obvious Shirts in the month of November, a portion of the proceeds go towards the 22Q Family Foundation. I should also mention, separate from 22Q, the Jackson Chance ping pong ball, which I've been a part of in past years and then kind of took a hiatus because of COVID, is back on and is this Thursday. So I unfortunately cannot attend this year because I have to go to Denver for a wedding. But it is an outstanding event that helps. It's such a simple thing. I've talked about this in the past, but they literally just raise money to help parents be able to park downtown to get access to Lurie Children's. What Prentice is there, Northwestern's
so
there.
Outrageous to say, but yes,
no, it's unbelievable, and we benefited from this. I'm very thankful to Jackson Chance when our son was in the hospital for a long time when he was born in the NICU. They cover the parking, which is like just the last thing you want to worry about is paying $20 for parking every single day when you're spending pretty much every hour of your day there. So it's a great organization. Go to jacksonchance.org. Jacksonchance.org is an awesome event this Thursday night. Go check it out. I highly recommend going. It's really fun. I'm upset I won't be able to be there this year, mainly because Pat Tomasulo and I usually just run the ping pong table the whole time. Champions. No, it's documented.
I need to see proof.
Okay. I have photos, videos. It's probably on the website somewhere. Okay. I think it was reported on the WGN Morning News yesterday. So I don't know. What are you, one of these fake news guys? What are you doing?
Prove it. I believe there are very competitive ping pong games at Hallis Hall. Or there used to be.
I'm not invited to those.
The Players Lounge?
Yeah, not invited. Anyway, please check that out, jacksonchance.org. All right. Justin Fields, good at football. This is a big development. And we thought we'd do a couple things. First of all, Kalyn Kahler, who's one of the national writers for The Athletic, is going to join us here in a little bit. But there's been a lot of chatter. I was curious how this would go, Johns, because this was like a noon game. Wasn't in a marquee window. Patrick Mahomes played Sunday night. That got a lot of the discussion. He threw the ball 68 times, which was kind of ridiculous, and yet impressive, and 400 yards and all that stuff. But I think Justin Fields got his due. It sure seemed like from the national media yesterday. And we thought we'd share some of that with you. So
and talk about it.
Yeah. Our producer, Kent, went through a lot of this stuff and found a lot of the discussion that happened in the aftermath of Sunday's Bears game and Justin Fields' performance. We're going to start with Emmanuel Acho, talking about Justin
Sam's little
Fields.
brother.
That's right.
Team meeting. Justin Fields is the most dangerous quarterback in football right now. It's not my opinion. Just watch the tape and you will believe the same thing as soon as it's done. He's savvy, he's athletic, and he's accurate. You'll have to run this back and take a look at it. I'm going to run it in slow motion. He is in the air, changing his mind. He lands, and after being in the air, changing his mind and landing, makes one guy miss, makes two guys miss, makes three guys miss. He outruns a fourth guy. Justin Fields is savvy. He is accurate. He is athletic. He is the most dangerous quarterback in football. And we are watching the miraculous development of this man, number one, Justin Fields. Ready, break.
The most dangerous quarterback in football right now. I think that's actually a good way to put it. Like he's not the.
I don't think he is though, but I know what he's suggesting. It's a good way to maybe unpredictably dangerous at this point.
Explain.
Scrambles.
Yeah.
Like I would still, if you're going to use the description most dangerous quarterback, I would still side with the guy you just mentioned, Patrick Mahomes. Did you not watch his game? He could scramble too. Josh Allen ran for a touchdown this week, although the Bills lost to the Jets. That's not good. Jalen Hurts. He runs all the time. I know what they're saying. I would say he's become the most exciting quarterback as of late. One of the most exciting quarterbacks as of late. But most dangerous, I don't want to get too carried away.
Yeah, I think right now, though, he might be the hardest to actually bring down.
Okay.
Like
well, that's different.
But I think that's kind of what he's going after.
No, but he's mentioning the throws. He's accurate.
I got to be careful with this.
Bears still have the worst passing offense in the league.
By no means am I saying that let me preface this. By no means am I saying that Justin Fields has passed Lamar Jackson by any means. But when I was watching that game last night, there was a couple times where Lamar scrambled. And I was like, right now, he's easier to bring down than Justin is. And I think it's the size.
Well, they're different ball carriers.
Like Justin's like, and he doesn't even have to lower the shoulder. He's just hard to bring down right now because he's so strong. And like he's just running through tackles. It's very impressive.
You know who's also uniquely difficult to bring down is Patrick Mahomes, because when he's running, it doesn't exactly look like the most athletic. He's like kind of just. How would you describe his running style? It's kind of just it's different, but he doesn't go down. He gains a lot of yards.
Fields is faster and more athletic. But all right. Here's another one. This was Shady McCoy, who I think was actually reacting to what Emmanuel Acho had to say. And then they kind of go back and forth. But this is where I don't know if Bears fans are going to love this one completely.
I don't care what Peter said, what Acho said. I don't care. I got my own eyes. I think he's a hell of an athlete. I said that. He can't throw the ball, right? I think that the Dolphins defensive coordinator is a bad guy.
He had 3 touchdown passes, Shady.
Hold on. He ran the same exact defense the whole time. The dude's running around the scrambling, waiting for somebody to get open. And then once the defenders come up, he just throws it. So my thing is like, as a coordinator, no pressure. That is no pressure.
Because they have spies, big dog. They spying him. The play right there, they're spying him. That's a dart. You said he can't throw. That's a dart. That's a dart. No, I need you to acknowledge that. And this throw touchdown.
Oh, that's a beautiful 6-yard pass. That was a beautiful 6-yard pass. I don't like to hate. I just like to keep it honest. Like, first of all, we're praising this guy off of a loss. He lost this week. He lost last week. The week before that, losses, right?
He won the week before that.
He beat the Patriots. That was a crazy game. But listen, I just got to see more from the guy. Everybody loves to give him passes for the way he plays, right? I mean, don't get crazy here. I'm not lying. I mean, he had games we threw for like 80 yards in a real NFL game, not Harry pickup football. 80 yards in a real football game. That's crazy.
Your career high in rushing yards, I believe, is 207 or 213. This man, a quarterback, just ran for 178 in maybe his 20th start ever, along with 3 touchdown passes. I need some respect.
He runs well. I just said that. I just told you that he's a hell of an athlete.
3 touchdown passes.
I got to see more. I got to see less losses and some wins. That's what I got to see.
Hey, Dave, what do you need to see?
So, we are seeing more. That's the cool thing about this, which ironically, you two managed to find both, like, y'all find the extremes. Like, most dangerous quarterback in the league is a little strong, Acho. When you did you watch Patrick Mahomes last night?
Yeah, of course. Always say his name.
Put the team on his back. I'm saying no.
Okay.
Regardless. So you're on one end, but like to act like this isn't impressive, I'll go as far as to say, like, for the time being, with what the Bears have figured out on offense, they're must-see TV, man. This is fun.
So before we get to what McCoy said, that is a pretty common sentiment that has popped up here. It was one of the points I was making last week, Johns, about how this team has just turned into a fun team out of nowhere in the last month.
Super exciting is what Chase Claypool used the other day.
And, I'll give Bill Simmons some credit. He was on this last week because if you listen to his Sunday pods, they like put the games every week in tiers as they guess the lines, and they have like their, their top games, their watchables, their barely watchables, and then they call it the poop fecta. The Bears are usually in the poop fecta. Now he's like, he said the Bears Dolphins game was like one of the best games to watch last week. And he was right. And same thing this week. Like, he's got the Bears Lions game as a watchable game. It's Bears Lions. Both teams suck,
but they score points,
but they're entertaining. It should be an entertaining football game. So that part is, totally agree. I don't think McCoy is giving Fields enough credit.
Like any argument about that, if good for Acho for stepping in and providing context. Hey, he threw 3 touchdown passes. Did you just forget about those?
Right. And 2 of them were really like perfectly thrown footballs.
Yes. I think with everything with the passing offense, you need to have context. The offensive line, new play caller, receivers, Chase Claypool's first game, N'Keal Harry just returning to the offense. There's so many layers to that conversation. If you don't provide that context, then your opinion is lacking in a sense. Do I think he needs to improve as a passer? Yes. The Bears got the worst passing offense in the league. I just said that not too long ago. But to say you can't throw the ball, then you're obviously not watching. Not watching at all. Because let me tell you, he can throw the ball quite well when given time, when things work down the field. I mean, every week I feel like Matt Eberflus is praising the deep balls that Justin Fields can throw.
Right. And like the
context.
The play at the end of Claypool that should have been PI was a well-thrown ball. There were some mistakes in this game. Do you know the play right before the block punt? It took a deep shot.
Well, I know it. Claypool's open on the opposite side to my column.
Yeah, and he threw a foul ball, no chance to catch it. The shallow cross was open, easier throw, would have been a first down. Instead,
actually, watch that again. Look who's got single coverage on the left sideline.
I don't know. All I know is the shallow cross was wide open. It's an easy throw.
Number 10.
Okay.
Not Mitch. The new guy.
Well, I think that it was just a predetermined deep shot, pre-snap.
Well, let's not have predetermined deep shots to Equinemius St. Brown.
Well, I agree. I mean, that's why I'm criticizing him for that play. That was not handled well. The one, the Claypool that was like thrown into the ground, kind of. I mean, that's an all-day easy slant. And he threw it low, and it was late. So that wasn't good. The one where he got sacked late, and that was totally on Braxton Jones, gave up pressure right away. But there's an easy slant to N'Keal Harry that he's looking right at and didn't pull the trigger. So, there were definitely things in this game that he could have done better. But I have a feeling if you watch every Chiefs game with the same critical eye, that there are probably throws like that when Mahomes goes for a bomb and maybe it doesn't connect, that you might say, oh, look, Travis Kelce was actually wide open underneath.
He had a throw to Travis Kelce the other night that was way behind Travis Kelce down the right seam, but Travis Kelce turns and makes one of the best catches I've seen thus far by a tight end this season.
Yeah.
Like, it's a highlight reel play, not for Mahomes, but for the best tight end in football. It goes back to your point, like, you know what, maybe that ball was low and away from Chase Claypool, but maybe he's got to dive to make the catch. You see receivers make those catches for their quarterbacks all the time. That every throw is perfect. They rarely are.
All right, let's we're gonna keep this going, but let's bring in Kalyn Kahler to the conversation as well. All right, Kalyn, I don't know how much of that you heard, but we're kind of running through some of the praise and surprisingly some criticism that Justin Fields was receiving yesterday. Any reactions to any of the stuff so far?
Yeah, I will say, so after the game on Sunday, I texted a scout who I know scouted Fields during the 2020 season and some of the other quarterbacks in that 2020 class. And I was like, I'm kind of thinking Fields might be the best quarterback in this class, because I think that was one of the opinions people kind of came out of that game on Sunday thinking like he could be the best one. Like that was kind of the first time that on Sunday that I really felt like I kind of believed that. So I texted that to a scout who had scouted him that year and some of the other quarterbacks in that class. And he was like, yeah, but when it really counted those last 2 drives of the game, he gets sacked twice, has several incompletions that, kind of stall those drives and lead to nowhere. So he wasn't totally sold on my opinion that Fields might be the best in that 2020 class. So I think that last clip that you played where they were sort of pointing that out, I think I sort of agree with parts of that. Like it was really incredible what he did Sunday against the Dolphins, but that defense also really didn't make any adjustments. And I was surprised to see that. And they'd given up, I think it was 119 yards to Lamar Jackson. So this was the second time the Dolphins have given up 100 plus yards to a mobile quarterback. They gave up 49 yards, I believe, to Josh Allen. So they came into the game as sort of the perfect defense for Fields to exploit. And that's not to like make less of what he did, because obviously when you are presented with that, you need to make the most of it and take advantage of those situations. But I do think the Dolphins really allowed him to do that in a way that, other defenses he faces later this season are probably going to be a little bit better equipped to try to stop him.
I think you should text your scout back and ask him how he thinks or what he thinks of the Bears averaging 31.3 points over the past three weeks. I always feel like you get caught in the moment in terms of like evaluations. Like, no one's expecting Justin Fields to run for 175 yards like per game. But like, I'm curious, as you're watching that, you just spent a week or a couple of days down in Miami where Tua's taken off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were you thinking as Field? You've covered Chicago Bears teams. You've seen Chicago Bears quarterbacks. You've been here long enough.
I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. It was like a weird feeling because I feel like we've been kind of waiting for a quarterback here to actually develop and like show signs of improvement, like tangible improvement. And we never really got there with Trubisky. It was always kind of just, we're almost there. And then he would regress and we're almost there and we'd regress again. So I feel like this was really fun on Sunday. Like it was just like a nice thing to see because I think for Fields, it's like the last 3 games now, including Sunday, you've seen him continue to improve. So it seems like he's established a pattern now of, he's really getting better. And the addition of Claypool obviously is going to help there. So it was just like a weird feeling of like, what am I watching? Like, is this really happening? So I think it was really fun. And, I'm definitely like in the moment of feeling excited about it and like optimistic and positive. And then, at the same time, recognizing like, the Dolphins were really the perfect team for this because, Mike McDaniel said after the game, like, they had a couple big missed tackles of Fields. I think Bradley Chubb almost got him down in a sack. I think maybe that was the third or fourth quarter later in the game. And the same thing with Landon Roberts, like had one arm around him. He eludes the tackle, goes for, I think, 13 yards for the Chubb play. But anyway, so McDaniel was kind of going into how you can't just arm tackle him because it's not enough. If you're half engaged with a lineman, like one arm isn't going to cut it with him because, as you guys have pointed out earlier on the show today, like he's so big,
It's too strong.
so strong, so physical. So you've got to like get a leg. You've got to somehow disengage to have both arms around him. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So McDaniel was basically saying after the game, like almost like they needed to kind of go back to the drawing board with like how to bring him down, because he said, he's changed the complexion of this offense. And McDaniel alluded to, the last couple of games, the complexion of the offense has changed. So, so I think like that was really interesting to hear him kind of say, like, you can't tackle him like you would tackle any other, quarterback, or even some of the other mobile quarterbacks. Like, this guy is huge. You really need to figure out a different way to do this, or it's not going to work.
Yeah, I just think that, like, if we're going to look at the Dolphins game in a vacuum, I can kind of see what, maybe why that scout is questioning some of it, or why the matchups. I mean, the reality is the Dolphins actually did a good job of doing two things in that game, which was stopping the Bears running, non-Justin Fields running game, the actual running backs. And I thought they did a good job of covering, throughout the game. There really weren't that many wide open wide receivers. We talked about a couple plays here and there where I think Justin had somebody underneath that would have been maybe been an easier throw, or one slant he threw low. But like, again, I think if you look at most games that any quarterback's playing in the NFL, there are going to be 3 to 4 plays like that, no matter who you are. I think where I'm going with that is go back to the beginning of the season. We were looking at 10 to 12 plays where Justin wasn't seeing this guy, or his footwork was wrong, or he was way high on a throw and just completely missed. If you've been watching closely, there has been considerable improvement in the passing game, and I think it is connected to how they've used him in the running game, because that seems to have unlocked him. But come on, I mean, he is a different quarterback from earlier in the year, like when they beat the Houston Texans, and that may have been his worst game of the entire season. I mean,
they're doing different things. Yes.
Well, he was only sacked twice on Sunday, and it didn't come until the fourth quarter,
and one is where he ran out of bounds.
Right.
Which was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can't happen.
Yeah. But that's a huge sign of improvement, because, that was something, him getting the ball out, recognizing, don't hold on to it too long. So you're taking those sacks that you don't need to take. So I think that's been an area that we've seen him improve in as well.
What did you, since you spent so much time kind of paying attention to, I think you've been all over Tua and Trevor Lawrence, like how do you, they're all different quarterbacks in their own different ways, but I guess who has impressed you the most out of those three?
Well, this is like not really, this just popped in my head. This is not really an answer to that question. I will answer that after this. But
you don't have to.
One thing
she doesn't like your question. Yeah.
That's fine.
One thing that's interesting is like, so Tua, had a defensive head coach for his first 2 years, and had different offensive coordinators, I believe, in both years. And, just like never really improved in those first 2 seasons, really struggled. And now he's got Mike McDaniel, who is an offensive head coach and who has clearly figured out, how to, I think he's talked about his timing. He never really learned footwork and timing from his previous offensive coaches. And now he's like, oh, I know how to hit my receivers in stride when they break out of their route. Like, I'm understanding that timing a lot better. And I think that's totally unlocked him. So he's a little bit, honestly, of like the reverse of Fields, because now like Fields had an offensive coach last year, and now we've got a defensive head coach, and he's taking steps that we didn't see from him last year. So it's interesting how different coaching setups can lead to success. And it's not really like one way or the other, but it's, it's the minds inside the building and how exactly you're supporting the quarterback and coaching him. And I think the support is the common theme, because, Tua got Tyreek. They are going all in with Tua, with the Dolphins, making trades to support him, making trades to build this team to win right now. Like, they're recognizing like, this is our window. We want to do it now because Tua has improved so much. And I think we're starting to see the beginning of that in Chicago with the addition of Chase Claypool, and, hopefully more pieces as, the months go by and going into next season as well. So I could see sort of like the same pattern happening for both of them with those little differences that I just pointed out. I think of the three of those guys, obviously Tua to me is the most impressive right now, just because he's so accurate right now. His timing is so much better with his receivers. He's still like Tyreek still will have to slow down. I'm sure you guys noticed that a little bit on a few of his passes to Tyreek, that he's kind of like slowing down to wait for the ball because he is so fast. So I think when he gets his timing even better with Tyreek, it's going to be even more explosive. But I mean, they've got one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL right now. Hill's already over 1,000 yards receiving, which is the fastest of any player since Calvin Johnson by week 9. So they're like on pace to set some records with that offense. And Jalen Waddle, their number 2 receiver, is also like right up there when you look at receiver stats in the NFL, which is extremely impressive because it's hard to get 2 receivers in the same offense having that type of production. So I think Tua to me is the most impressive just because of the turnaround that he's made in just this short amount of time. And it really just goes to show you like what pairing a coach or the quarterback can really do to unlock a quarterback. And, just the support, because he was benched for bad performances in the past. They wanted Deshaun Watson. Like this organization did like everything to say that he was not their guy. And now, as soon as they hired Mike McDaniel, they kind of changed that philosophy and decided to support him and to build around him and recognize like, okay, no, this is our quarterback. Like this is our guy. And I think you're seeing on the field sort of the effect of that.
That Mike McDaniel point is important, I think, especially when it applies to the Bears, because you have Luke Getsy. Now he's not the head coach,
right?
But he's essentially from the same tree, albeit different fathers, maybe, right? No, they're
different mothers.
Different mothers, yes. One from Shanahan, the other one more from McVay. I'm trying to remember. Yes, that works. That'll work.
Yeah, because not McDaniel.
Getsy's through LaFleur's,
yes.
who through McVay.
They're all the same person. I guess.
Yes, it's the same tree.
They're all the same person.
But
Shanahan,
it's the same, like
LaFleur, McVay,
it's the same flexibility, the same creativity. It's the Bears scoring on plays that they've put in, like on day 1 of training camp to Cole Kmet, and they're still working. It's pairing the run game to the pass game, and now it's adding design runs for Justin Fields. They are different quarterbacks, Tua and Justin Fields. Tua can't run the way Justin Fields does, but I think the pairings, I like the pairings. McDaniel and Tua, Getsy, and Justin Fields right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be fun to watch to see. I mean, we're only at the midway point of the season. So, I mean, imagine where Fields is going to be at by week 17. And honestly, like this is a hot take, but I'm sure you guys have already said this. The Pittsburgh Steelers may regret not trading Claypool to the Packers because the Bears second rounder, I don't know that it's a done deal that they thought, the Packers were going to, or the Bears second rounder was going to be a better second rounder, a higher second round pick. I don't know about that anymore.
I think
it's all right. They got a participation medal award for trying the trade.
Right.
All their trades.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they tried.
They
every
got that
trade.
ribbon that the kids get in T-ball.
Right, exactly.
Thanks
Congratulations for trying. You didn't get any of them. I agree, though, Kalyn. I think, December 4th at Soldier Field, I mean, the Steelers might want to be glued to that game because it may end up deciding which pick is higher. And they, but that's whatever the Bears got. And I think that's one area, as you say, will be interesting to watch going forward. How I was actually impressed with how much Claypool was able to do on like 3 days.
Yeah.
Being in the offense. They get him going more within that system. I think that could really help Justin Fields. So, All right, Kalyn, appreciate the time. Always love having you on the podcast. Make sure you're following her on Twitter at Kalyn Kahler. Great stuff on The Athletic, theathletic.com/Hoge Jahns, where you go to subscribe. Thanks, Kalyn.
Thanks, Kalyn.
Hey, we're deep into fall now. Everybody's busy. I'm busy. Football season gets crazy. And I got to be honest with you, I don't always do a great job of eating during football season. You forget to eat, things like that. Not good. But when the box of Freshly shows up at the door, oh, it's the best feeling because it saves time, it saves effort, and you're getting really good meals that can take care of yourself, take care of your family, and you don't have to deal with the meal prep or cleaning up the dishes. If you get started today, you'll get $140 off your first 5 orders too. So this is what you're going to want to do because Freshly delivers delicious, healthy meals to you. They're fresh, they're not frozen, and they're ready to enjoy in just 3 minutes. No cooking, no dishes, no trips to the store. It's so easy, made for everyone, fits your lifestyle with plans tailored to every dietary preference. You can choose from their signature collection or try their many gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based options, as well as carb and calorie-conscious favorites. Their meals are always perfectly portioned, whether you're shopping for one or for the whole family. So skip the grocery shopping, the dirty dishes, and check out Freshly. This is what you want to do. Revamp your routine this fall with Freshly. Save now for a limited time. Order today. You'll get $140 off your first 5 orders at freshly.com/Adam. That's freshly.com/Adam for $140 off your first 5 orders. Freshly.com/Adam for $140 off your first 5 orders.
You may start noticing that there are these strange tall boys of beer in the bottled water section of your local stores. Well, it's not beer. It's actually mountain spring water from the Alps, and it's called Liquid Death. Why is this water called Liquid Death? Well, because it will actually brutally murder your thirst. Their infinitely recyclable tallboy cans are helping to bring death to plastic bottles. They also donate 10% of their profits from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution. You can have fun with it. You can open it up anywhere. It looks like a beer, but it's not beer, and it tastes great. There's these new flavors, different flavors that you like. You can bring it to Hallis Hall. Drink it in the media room if you want. You can drink it while pregnant. You can do a lot of different things. It tastes great. It looks cool, and you're helping stop pollution. So go get Liquid Death at your local 7-Eleven, Jewel, Target, or CVS, or find a Liquid Death retailer near you with their store locator tool at liquiddeath.com/Adam. That's liquiddeath.com/Adam.
All right, Sundays might be the best day of the week. You get football, whether you're going to the games, you're tailgating, you're just paying attention to your fantasy team all the way till 11 o'clock at night. Whatever you're doing, you're enjoying the football, and then you realize, shit, I got to go to work in the morning, right? We all deal with Sunday scaries, those stressful, nervous, can't sleep, dread feelings that hit you on Sunday evenings when you think about going to work or school in the morning. Well, Sunday Scary CBD gummies were made to defeat the crap that life throws at us. These are the perfect CBD gummies for professionals on the grind, super moms, students, party animals, and everyone in between. Sometimes I don't relax well. I got a lot going on, and usually when I fall asleep, I'm good to sleep, but when you're thinking about all that stuff, it can be hard to fall asleep on Sundays or really any day of the week. And Sunday Scaries have the deliciously cute vitamin boosted CBD gummies, and they work, chill you out, give you that relaxed feeling that you need to carry on. And look, we all have the right to live scare free. So whether you need to take the edge off, calm your racing mind, sleep better, or just chill, take 2 CBD gummies every day to keep the scaries away. Let me save you with my 25% off discount. Visit sundayscaries.com. Use my promo code THEATHLETIC, all one word, for your discount. That's promo code THEATHLETIC for 25% off at sundayscaries.com.
Hey everybody, I'm here to tell you about Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is a family-owned aerospace parts manufacturer that has made parts for the ISS, International Space Station, and Mars rover. Now they're bringing precision engineering to your shaving experience. Razor blades are like diving boards. The longer the board, the more the wobble. The more the wobble, the more the nicks, cuts, and scrapes. A bad shave isn't a blade problem. It's an extension problem. By using aerospace-grade CNC machines, Henson makes metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches, which is less than the thickness of a human hair. That means a secure and stable blade with a vibration-free shave. And let me tell you, it gets better. The razor has built-in channels to evacuate hair and cream, which makes clogging virtually impossible. Seriously, Henson Shaving wants the best razor, not the best razor business. So if you want that smooth, good-looking face, I'm telling you, try that Henson razor. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that'll last you a lifetime. Visit hensonshaving.com/Adam to pick the razor for you and use the code ADAM. And you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/Adam and use code ADAM.
All right, let's get to some more of this audio that we had from various.
Do you want to play the Mike McDaniel one?
You want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do that
Sure.
now since we just talked about him.
Let's see here. We got Mike McDaniel. This is from yesterday's press conference, right?
Yes.
Back in Miami on Justin Fields.
No, I just wanted him to stop scrambling. And it was pretty irritating because he didn't listen at all. He didn't take the coaching. It was that. No, I think our whole team took them serious because they're a young and upcoming team that if you take lightly at all, they will make you quickly regret that. So, they fought exactly how we thought they were going to. I think that Justin's really starting to get a feel for when he can utilize his full scale of gifts and he's making plays more and more and becoming more and more difficult to defend. So at that stage of the game, I figured no one had asked him to stop it. So, I gave that a try. I think other coaches can learn from my experience that he does not listen. So rely on other tactics.
How can that guy not be your favorite coach in the NFL?
Here's the love that we were talking about last week.
And I think I actually hit the under, by the way.
Did you?
There was just so much Justin Fields talk that we didn't get to a lot of Mike McDaniel love. I think everybody knows how much I love that guy. But right there is why I love that guy.
He would fit right into this podcast with the glasses and the forehead, right?
Oh, my God. Glasses, forehead, sarcasm.
Yes.
I
love the dry sense of humor. I love actually the willingness and the fun that he has to go up the fields as he's scrambling and go and tell him to stop it. That's what the question was. The broadcast cameras captured Mike McDaniel telling Justin Fields to stop it. And if you look closely, you can see Justin Fields laughing, smiling as he says it.
The thing that sucks though is there was holding called on that play, and the ball actually went back. That was the Sam Mustipher holding penalty.
Oh yeah.
I think I just came up. I think an off-season goal for us. Maybe it's the Super Bowl if Mike McDaniel's they're not participating in it, or at the combine. Or we got to get Mike McDaniel on this podcast.
He would fit in.
I don't know how he pitched that the right way to be like, yeah, you need to go on a Bears podcast, but
he seems like a guy who would be have fun with it though.
I think he would do it. We just
can't get on
needs to be presented to him the right way.
The yesterday at Matt Eberflus's press conference, I liked what he used the description. Call it a scout description if you want. But I think this is a great way to kind of encapsulate the excitement that Justin Fields brings right now. He called what Justin Fields, what he's doing right now, unscripted athleticism. Yeah. Where it's just physical talent taking over. And that's what Mike McDaniel, in his praise of Justin Fields, is alluding to. You could have rush plans. You could have a spy. And I'm sorry, LaShawn McCoy, there was some of that from the Dolphins. You can do all those things to try to contain a player like Justin Fields. But sometimes a player is just going to make plays. He's going to run through the arm tackles of Bradley Chubb and get away. He's going to be too strong to tackle.
See, I'm not dismissing what you're saying because I totally agree with you. Let me say that first. But I think I always knew he could do that stuff. What has me more excited, Johns, is the scripted stuff he's doing well. So, and I'll give you a couple examples. One is the touchdown to Cole Kmet, right? Well, I think both touchdown throws. Well, first one to Mooney, which is just, when you say he's not a pocket passer, that was a muddy pocket.
It's third down too, wasn't it?
Third down, muddy pocket, absolute dime. And a good route from Mooney, makes a nice catch, perfect form, getting away from the corner. The ball was put in the perfect. I mean, you could not draw that up better.
Wait. I heard he can't throw the ball.
Nope, can't do it. The other one, going back to scripted stuff, the Cole Kmet touchdown. They move the launch point to the right, throwing on the run. Right in stride, so Cole can catch it, get up the sideline, stay in bounds. Because when I get accused of like spending too much time talking about how the horizontal throws need to be pinpoint, that's why you throw it behind him, it's not a touchdown. You throw it too far ahead of him, he might get led out of bounds even if he catches it. It's perfectly thrown where Cole can put his foot in the ground, get up the sideline, and score with a nice block from Equinemius St. Brown 2 downfield. Okay. The zone read, I posted this on Twitter last night. There's a zone read late in the second half. I think it was right before
where the defensive end is kind of frozen in time there.
Yeah, I think it was right before the Cole Kmet touchdown I'm talking about. Anyway, it's a technique called surf technique. Okay, it's supposed to try to confuse the quarterback on zone reads. So the read defender, the guy who's unblocked, instead of picking between crashing on the running back or going upfield at the quarterback, they get in like this horizontal, they put their arms up. That's why they call it surfing, right? And you just stay flat.
They stop. Yeah.
Yeah. You sort of keep your feet chopping, but you're flat and you try to put the quarterback in a bind. Oh, is he crashing or is he not crashing? What is he doing? And you just make that decision harder. Go back and watch some of the film from earlier in the year. On those plays, Justin was taking and what is considered usually the right decision, which is to hand it off to the running back. Because if he's not crashing on the running back, he's probably not going to tackle him. So hand it off. And the Bears would get 3-4 yards or whatever they would get. What I was looking at those plays, though, I'm going, if he stops his feet, Justin's winning that race to the edge easily. And I know it's hard to be like, oh, he's not crashing on the running back, I should keep this and just beat him. He's starting to do that now. He's starting to do that now because he realizes if that read defender does not get vertical upfield on the quarterback, Justin Fields is going to win that race to the edge every time. And I think on this play, he picks up 15, 17 yards. He almost scores.
Too much space. What was his final stats on design runs or run calls? Like 8 carries for 68 yards, 70 yards.
I don't have it in front of me.
Something still
sounds about right.
Something still good. Something that's still threatening to opposing defenses and opposing defensive coordinators. My favorite quote from Justin Fields post-game is how he went into detail explaining how he actually started to scout. And I'm sure he's been doing this for a bit, but scouted the athleticism specifically of the Miami defensive ends, their lateral quickness and speed. Case in point, your play right there that you just explained. Yeah. Knowing that he'd have a cushion and knowing that he can gain the edge because he was just laterally quicker.
Yep.
The better athlete, the better player. That's what, again, I think Mike McDaniel's getting at, too. Learning what he could do. The Bears, that mini bye week has been like, it's something.
It really is. I mean,
they looked at something, they found something, yes.
Maybe Darnell Mooney did them a favor by dropping that ball well, he didn't technically drop it. He bobbled it.
Is that a drop?
Well, did that count as a catch or not?
No, not a catch.
Oh, okay. I thought that counted as a catch and he was just down.
You're talking about the goal line against Washington?
Yeah. I thought it was a catch, but he was down at the 1 because he bobbled it instead of it being whatever.
Not a catch. But
so he dropped it.
To your point, also from that game, they're now using Cole Kmet more in red zone situations instead of the third-string tight end who only played 2 snaps against the Miami Dolphins.
Wait, say that again?
Ryan Griffin. That's the same game Ryan Griffin was overthrown.
Yes.
Cole
He's not
Kmet.
in there in the red zone anymore.
No, it is now Cole Kmet all day, who's on there for like 98% of the snaps. These games. No.
Can I ask you a fantasy football question?
What?
No.
Would you pick up Cole Kmet in fantasy right now? I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about general. And basically, the question is this because he hasn't scored for fantasy football purposes? He has not scored in double digits all season until Sunday. I think he put up like 22 points, depending on what your league scoring is.
Yes. Well, is he Travis Kelce? No. Is he Mark Andrews? No. But it looks like he could be good for a touchdown every other game, or at least games that Adam Johns doesn't have him as his bold prediction.
Which will be the rest of the season.
Apparently.
Which
I'll come up with something new. Cole Kmet carries per game. Do you want to play one more clip before we get to everybody's voicemails and we'll get out of here?
No. Because we have a present for you.
Well, I'm literally in a different town.
No, I know, but I can give this to you. I'm going to present it on the podcast because we had an awesome listener who showed up to the tailgate on Sunday that you did not attend because you're too good of a father and you went to your son's soccer game, which is unacceptable, of course. And he brought gifts. His name's Shiv, and he was excited. And
what do we got?
He gave us each one of these. I realize if you're listening to the podcast right now, you're not watching on YouTube. You can't see this, but we'll explain it.
Adam Hoge has opened a red bag.
It is a T-shirt that says "Getting bold predictions wrong since 2021." I think it's actually should say since 2015, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But this is actually the best part. It's on the sleeve. Let's see if I can hold that up so people can see it. This is hard. Hang on. We'll get this right. We have Cole Kmet. For real, though, huge fan of the podcast. Congrats on 600 episodes.
Oh, that is way too nice.
Chibber. I apologize if I got your last name wrong. But he was a really nice guy. He came with gifts. He gave us each one of these. Also, shout out to our friends at Obvious Shirts. This is, pun intended, an obvious knockoff of an Obvious shirt. So I just want to make sure they get the credit because this is an Obvious Shirt design. And don't worry, Joe and everybody, Devin and everybody else there, no profits were made off of this. It's just a gift. So people should go to obviousshirts.com if they think that's a cool shirt.
I want to thank Shiv somehow. So if next time you're at a Bears game, if you're going, DM me, reach out on Twitter. I promise you I will try to find that message and we'll take a picture or something together.
Yeah. Well done. We appreciate it. That's awesome.
Maybe buy you a beer.
We were planning on celebrating the 600th episode last week, and then all hell broke loose with the trade deadline, and we never really got around to doing it.
No.
So gifts are not required, but thank you very much, Shiv. Those are nice thoughts and a good bit for our podcast that fit perfectly. All right. Couple more clips we want to play, then we'll get to the voicemails, then we'll get the hell out of here. This was from Get Up on ESPN.
We talk about floors. What do you think when you watch Justin?
The highest ceiling, by far, of any quarterback out there. To me, his ceiling, it's unreal. And that's why I always question, and no shot at Mac Jones, but Mac Jones had a really high floor, but not a high ceiling. This kid had a much higher ceiling, meaning the potential, if he ever reaches it, is going to be like this. This is what a franchise quarterback looks like. You talk about an organization that changed an organization. This guy has that ability, and you see
Rex,
it.
I think they could go from like
this.
I think they could go from next year to being like, you know what? Let's support Justin and be like, oh, we can get in the mix.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because of
there's
his
no
play, right?
question about that.
I said the Jets should have drafted him. I said the San Francisco 49ers should have drafted him because what I knew was when he put it together from a talent standpoint, other than Trevor Lawrence, there was no one else that could do what Justin Fields was doing. I have to give offense coordinator Mike Getsy this.
Luke Getsy.
I'm sorry, Luke Getsy this. Justin Fields didn't run this much at Ohio State.
Right.
He had
True.
the talent, but he didn't have to do
Yeah.
it. For them to make the decision that we're going to use this talent in this way has changed not only the trajectory of Justin Fields, but the trajectory of this team.
My favorite part of Justin this year is not only with Luke Getsy, but Andrew Janocko, the quarterback coach. I said this about Justin. Mechanically, he had to get better with his feet because they used to get too high off the ground instead of grazing the ground. Natural athletes or big-time athletes do that a lot. And then his throwing motion was so poor. He has tightened up his mechanics. I don't want to say poor, just loose. And he's tightened up his throwing motion with those coaches. The running talent, I didn't know it was this good, candidly. I didn't know it was this good, right? But the way he's developed as just a passer off of that natural talent, to me, is why this organization has the chance to be very different very quickly.
Well, we'll talk more about this as the week goes on and time goes on, because when you say he has more talent than anyone but Trevor Lawrence, I haven't seen Trevor Lawrence play a game look anything like that.
Well, I'm not saying that talent-wise. We knew Trevor Lawrence was going one. Though,
yeah,
right.
I'm not 100% sure they won't look back on that and say that was the right decision either.
Johns, we had a pretty fun discussion yesterday on the CHGO Bears podcast going through the entire draft from 2021 and basically pointing out the teams that messed up. And the reason we did it is because the Bears never get to be that team that gets to do that. The Bears fans don't ever get to do that. So celebrate it and do it. But I totally agree, man. Imagine if the Jets had Justin Fields right now.
Oh, it'd be a completely different story.
I mean, they already beat the Bills the other day without.
They have talent throughout their roster.
Oh, man. If Fields was their quarterback, they would be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The 49ers had Fields. They would be really, really good. And then the two teams that totally screwed up were the Panthers. They can't get a quarterback right. They're drafting J.C. Horn. And the Broncos, Patrick Surtain's a really good player, but, then they never go down the road of trading for Russell Wilson, which has totally screwed them up. And then the team I always point out, remember all that draft day talk about trading Aaron Rodgers to Denver? Was it smoke? Was it not smoke? Imagine a world right now, Johns, where Aaron Rodgers is traded to the Broncos on draft day. The Packers draft Justin Fields with that pick. They're able to keep Devontae Adams because they don't have to pay Rodgers. And, oh, by the way, they also have the Broncos' first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. You think the Packers will be better off than it's looking right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Ryan Pace, but the man had an obsession with getting that quarterback position right. In 2017, led to Mitch Trubisky. Didn't work out.
No, don't care.
But that obsession persisted all the way up until 2 years ago or last year to that draft where he traded up again and got Justin Fields. Just maddenly obsessed with trying to get that position right because he came from an organization that had it right. He's not here, but he's the one who delivered Justin Fields to the Bears. That obsession of finding the quarterback and getting it right delivered him to the Chicago Bears. It did. There's no other way to put it.
No, it's a good parting gift. It's definitely a good parting gift.
Very good parting gift. There you go. Here's a franchise quarterback.
And unfortunately, Ryan Pace's Falcons are going to have to try to stop Justin Fields.
Yeah.
In a couple weeks. So, do we want to hear more of these or just go into voicemails?
Let's do one more. Yeah,
okay.
One more.
Do you want Baldy or Michael Irvin?
Ooh, Michael Irvin. I heard this is a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard this yet. Let's hear it. Michael Irvin on Justin Fields.
What number we on?
My number one.
Who is it?
My number one.
Who it is, Playmaker?
And I know now, this is the first time
Calm down.
anybody ever
Calm down, RC.
and get on my top playmaker.
Calm down, RC.
But I gotta give it to him.
Don't be hyped.
Justin Fields.
Shut up!
Justin
Fields!
I gotta give it to him.
But they say he can't play.
They say he can't play.
They say they gotta get a new quarterback.
They gotta get a new quarterback. They get somebody else.
What they gonna do now?
What they gonna do now? Justin Fields, 178 yards. What
Is that a record?
That's our record. All 100. Not just 178 yards. Because we knew he had the leg.
We knew he could do it. We knew he could do
But we didn't think he had the arm.
He didn't throw three times.
Three TDs. Justin Fields. Keep him spinning.
Spinning.
And breaking records, baby. Keep him spinning. And breaking records, baby. Keep him spinning.
That's what we do.
And breaking records,
That's what we
baby.
do.
That's what I'm talking That's what I'm talking about.
Molly, take it over.
Keep it spinning and break it.
I think I understood 3 words in that entire thing.
That's outstanding, though.
But that might be the best breakdown of Justin Fields I've heard since Sunday. Just 90 seconds of yelling.
Well, that was Soldier Field just on Sunday.
Just gibberish and yelling and nothing making sense. Just celebrating what it was. Like that's outstanding.
Here's my final thought before you ask for it.
We still got voicemails.
I know, but I want to get ahead of things here.
This is the problem. You always waste your final thought.
I do. I got good thoughts. Most of the
Probably
time.
not.
Most of the time. Come on, Vic. Like Justin Fields can improve as a passer. Like I think that's going to happen. You saw the glimpses last year. We saw the glimpses earlier this year when he had like a 6.2 passer rating or something that bad. Like just bad. The glimpses were there. The plays were there. Throws need to be made. Ball needs to get out quicker. Like I think that'll come. That comes with time and experience. But to go off like the vibe of Michael Irvin, Justin Fields can do things that a lot of quarterbacks just can't do. It's like that feeling that Josh Allen gives you when he jumps over somebody. Is it not? Like, did you not get that feeling on that 61-yard touchdown run?
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence can't do that. He's good. He can't do that. Zach Wilson can't do that. Tua can't do that.
This goes back to sometimes I feel like we just get too caught up in like numbers and like he can do this and he can't do this. And it's just like, when you know, right? Like Mark Carman said this earlier in the year when Fields was struggling. He's like, regardless of what you want to say is going well, what's not, it's like, you know what it's supposed to look like. And this is not what it's supposed to look like. That was back when things were poor. Now, this is what it's supposed to look like, right? With the first-round quarterback, who's as special as Justin is, with all the talent we have always known he has. You want to nitpick on some of the throws, some of the decisions? Sure. At the end of the day, the Bears scored more points on offense than the Miami Dolphins did, one of the best in the league. And it was Justin Fields carrying the entire damn team. That's a quarterback in the National Football League that you want to have. It should really just be as simple as that.
What's the old saying? You want a quarterback you win because of, not just with.
Yes.
That's a because of game. That is 100% a because of game. The Bears are averaging more than 30 points over the past 3 games because of Justin Fields. Because of him. That's why it feels different. It looks different. I want to go back to something I said Sunday night. The rushing yards are positives for Josh Allen, for Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. They can be positives for Justin Fields. I think the passing game will come along. I really do. But those positives on the ground can be positives for Justin Fields too.
Do you know who has the most fantasy points among quarterbacks over the last month?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Number one. The
kids like that.
I like that. Kirk Cousins likes that.
Put a shirt.
One more, just because I like Baldy. We got to do one more. Baldy. Here's Baldy, and then we'll get to your voicemails.
Watch Justin Fields on this 3rd and 5 at the start of the 3rd quarter. I think about those days in the schoolyard when we all played. And you always had that one guy that was just more creative, more fun, better athlete than everybody else. Got crossing routes in the middle of the field, and it zoned off. And Justin Fields sees an opening. But Justin Fields doesn't take off. Like, he gets both Christian Wilkins and Jerome Baker both to bite on this. Like, it's just schoolyard stuff. All right, you take that, I'll put you in a freeze, and then I'll hit the gas pedal. And Justin Fields goes 61 yards to pay dirt. Like, what he did on Sunday, I don't care. Vince Evans, Jack Kincannon, Jay Cutler, Jim Harbaugh, Jim McMahon, none of them have ever done what Justin Fields did on Sunday.
And you know what I liked about that play? That's the 61-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
for him to even be looking downfield at Darnell Mooney.
He wanted to throw.
It means his eyes are downfield when he's scrambling. They didn't used to be that way. That's what makes Mahomes special. When that dude is running away from pressure, his eyes are always downfield to a point that I don't think Fields will ever be able to reach that. That's what makes Mahomes extremely special. But just the fact that it's happening is a good sign.
He can give you some of it. Again, if you're going to praise Patrick Mahomes for the backyard football stuff where he spins on the 2-yard line and he pitches it or he throws it underhand, you could praise Justin Fields for it too. It's okay. It's different.
It's
albeit very different in this town, but it's blows your mind a bit. But if you could praise the backyard football play of even Josh Allen, the elite quarterbacks, they all do it. Patrick Mahomes especially. You could do the same for Justin Fields. He can throw the ball.
All right, so that's what all the national guys had to say about the Bears' loss. Sometimes I forget it's a loss. But with what Justin Fields did Sunday, here's what our listeners had to say on the voicemail line.
Hello?
Do you know who this is?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
The Hoge Jahns voicemail. The Hoge Jahns voicemail line.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
Got any questions or comments about the Bears? Give the guys a call before, after, or even during the game.
Go Bears!
I'd just like to take this moment to say I'm sorry, Kokomet, for all the bad things that I've ever said about you. You might actually be pretty good, buddy. Bear down.
David Copperfield ain't got now on Justin Fields. That play fake had everyone and their mothers thinking it was going the other way. What a play. Justin Fields, incredible.
I feel like we got to blame Hoge for that block punt return for a touchdown. He's kind of a jinx. Spent all week talking about the Bears' huge advantage in DVOA on special teams. It was on you, Adam.
21-17 is not a bad score for us so far, but it feels like our entire defense was Roquan Smith. I know that our secondary is still really good, but it just seems like we don't have any pass rush. We don't really seem to have anyone who's stepping up and forcing turnovers. I'm hoping that we use most of our cap space and most of our draft picks on revitalizing the defense and O-line then. Bear down.
Yeah, it's now 28-25 Miami, and just curious, why have we not monikered this dude Justin, the Chosen One, Fields yet? I mean, it's almost staring us right in the face, guys. Dude's an animal. All right, bear down.
Hey, Hoge Jahns, sitting around enjoying the Bears game, keeping my composure, having a couple of whiskey cold. Now, who am I kidding? That dude is special. Let's go, Fields. Bear down, baby. 61 yards.
Hey, Hoge Jahns, I'm sure Hoge is going crazy. Back-to-back plays where the refs just go ahead and give it to the Dolphins. Let them keep going. That was clearly intentional grounding and not at all pass interference. What are these refs doing? Just letting them have the game? Can't believe it. Bear down.
This is Mr. Anderson from Philly.
And Miss Anderson from Soldier Field.
And we had 2 words for you. Justin Fields! This dude out here putting up NFL records. Bear down.
Fields is absolutely legit. I'm so excited for next year. Can we maybe draft or get one of the refs in free agency? Because they absolutely won the game for the other team. Bear down, baby.
Hoge Jahns, it's Robert Steve Dabrowski calling in here from Soldier Field, just leaving the stadium after a Bears loss, but I feel up, boys. John, Hoge, I know that you guys like numbers, so here's a couple of numbers for you. 33, 29, 32. That's the number of boners that I got watching the Bears the last 3 weeks. This offense is unbelievable with a B-U-L-L. Go Bulls. Also, Justin Fields, greatest quarterback in the NFL. No doubt about it. I mean, you could say best in the NFC North, but he's the best in the NFL. There's no question. This guy, it's him. It's him. They finally got him with the capital H, capital I, capital M. Go Bears, Justin Fields. They're throwing it. This is all that we needed. this year, next year, like I've been saying for a million years, Super Bowl 2 years in a row. 2023, 2024, +7, 2029, 100 billion Super Bowls in a row. Let's go Bears.
Not to get carried away or anything, by any means. That's definitely the most graphic statistic Bob has ever given us. Thank you for that. All right.
Oh,
I got to go.
All right. See ya.
See you guys. Follow us on
Sun
Twitter.
Is
Yeah, what is going on? Are you like
shine through my window?
You look like you're in a jack-o'-lantern. Like there's just
when you descended.
like it's just, I know, but there's like a glow around you. Like I don't know what's
The
going on
last
there.
few nice days of fall around here, apparently. So the sun is shining through my window here.
Okay.
If you're watching on YouTube.
I think it is a nice day. Follow us on Twitter at Adam Hoge, at Adam Jahns. Read Johnsy on The Athletic, theathletic.com/Hoge Jahns. It's where you go to subscribe. You can get me on allchgo.com and subscribe to get tomorrow's newsletter in your inbox. First thing in the morning, we'll have lots on Justin Fields and a breakdown of his performance, some of the good, some of the bad, mostly good, obviously. And obviousshirts.com is where you get the merch. Please hit subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification so you know when we go live post-game. And what else am I forgetting? Oh, rate and review the podcast. We appreciate you. We'll be back Thursday. The Lions are the Lions.
Are they?
Talk to you then.
See ya.